What's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a great night. Welcome to a new episode of Cardboard Cave Podcast. And I hope everybody that joined us today will enjoy this podcast. And remember, you can follow us in all of our social media, that it's on Facebook and on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button so that you can see this podcast. If you missed the live, the podcast will be available on YouTube. And if you can't see the podcast live nor have the chance to see us on YouTube, you can go ahead and go to your favorite podcast platform, and this show will be available for you on Sunday on all your favorite podcast formats. Today we have a couple of interesting, great topics for you tonight, especially our last one, and we're going to go ahead and tune in with all of our co-host. Starting here from the west side, we have Alejandro.
Hello. Hi.
Hey, what's up, Alejandro?
All good. Just Christmasing it up every day.
You know, the sad part about it is I got Christmas stuff, but myself blocks it with the chair.
You gotta get more Christmassy stuff. That's what you need.
Yeah, I think, you know what I'm going to do?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my LEDs for the next one. You know, when they start flashing all colors.
Just do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have our other host that is one of many persons that said standard is no more for me. We're staying in Commander. JP.
Oh no, you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi.
What's up? Hey, didn't that happen last time?
I think it did.
It did, right? I think that's a ritual. JP, when he goes in, he forgets to unmute himself.
And as per usual, our fourth co-streamer, our co-host is driving to his house right now.
Yep. Okay, guys, so here you go. We have iPepe123 saying hello.
Hi. What's up?
We have Manco PR12 saying as well hello. And we have Joanowski02 saying que sexy. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, wait. Thinking about it, does Chris have a beard?
Yeah,
he does, right?
Yeah,
I think he does. We all have beards.
Mm-hmm.
We have to find like an MTG name for us, or make a card.
Like some tokens and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bearded horseman.
Yeah.
The bearded horseman.
have one for, it's like, you know, instead of death, famine, war, and pestilence, just have one for each of us.
Yeah.
Like it.
Control, mid-range, combo, and jank.
Yeah, that would be super extremely awesome. That would be awesome. Oh god. You know what? I know a couple of artists. I think they're not used to making like art for Magic, but I think that any artist could do art for Magic the Gathering. So, you know what? I'm gonna talk to her. I have a couple of friends that do art, so I can talk to them and I can like tell each one to make a different art of one of, like, assign them one of each of us, and they can make their art and we can promote them in our page and everything when they make the cards. That will be extremely awesome. Okay, guys, for our first main topic of tonight, we're going to this section that we have added to the show since last time, called main phase. So this weekend, guys, is the MTG Arena Open. What is this? The MTG Arena Open is where a lot of players that have been playing Arena can join in together for a cost of I think it's 20,000 gems. That I think that's an equivalent of $30 in cash. They can compete in a 2-day event. Well, if you qualify in 1 or 2 sections, you can qualify as either playing best of 1 or best of 3. That is the common tournament format. Depending on your win ratio, you can qualify for day 2. And if you qualify for day 2, depending on your wins again, you can either win $2,000 in cash, or 1,000, or 20,000 gems, is bringing back the money that you invested. Plus, in day 1, you can win gems as well. Now, you guys seeing all of this, what you guys think about it, because we know that standard has its own meta, but what decks do you guys think that is going to be the one that is going to be this extravagant event? Starting with JP, what you think?
I have zero idea of the current standard meta. I will do say that these rewards, like for being what it is, it's actually not that bad. Like I'm overestimating. I haven't been playing Arena recently, so I don't know how much gems would be actually worth. Like if the actual prizes would be worth the time investment, and only one of them, like the top prize being the cash prize. I'm not sure if it proper, like actually trying to get into this tournament, but I'm really out of touch with standard right now.
Okay, how about you, Orengo? Have you been playing Arena, and what decks do you think we're going to see a lot in this meta?
I haven't been playing Arena either. I touch Arena like every once in a while, like every week or so. I connect, I kind of play a little game or two, but I've been a little disconnected with standard because since there hasn't been any like controversies in standard, I started shifting into other things. I'm mostly a commander player, guys, just so you know. I do like standard, and when before pandemic times, I used to play some standard in my local game store, but I never did an arena. I am checking, however, an MTG Goldfish, getting like a sense of what the meta is and how it has shifted. It does seem like Gruul Adventures is one of the very top tier decks right now, and I checked this 5K Kaldheim Championship qualifier, and the amount of Gruul Adventures that ended up 8-1 is astonishing. It's ridiculous, the amount. Although a mono green food deck won, and that one was a very budgeted deck because it was the normal price was $200. The MTGO price was 69 ticks, so it's a cheapo deck.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it does seem like the Gruul Adventures has a very high advantage. Other decks, it seems like Esper Doom Portal, which I have seen on streams before. It's a very powerful deck with that enchantment. But yeah, it might be one of those three decks. Dimir Rogues, I'm sad about it because I really like the Dimir Rogues mechanic, but it doesn't seem like it's faring very well against Gruul Adventures and Mono Green Food and
that mono green food just kind of jumped up, and MTG Goldfish has its price at like $200.
Yeah, it's like the cheapo. It's like the equivalent of the mono red deck that you usually play.
I've been playing Arena. Yeah. I got my Gruul Adventure, and I got the mono green one as well, and the Dimir one. I've played all three of them. The sad part about Dimir Rogues is that in terms of lands is very inconsistent. There's even though if your mana is fixed to not miss land drops, but there's sometimes that you draw cards and you don't get the gas to combo off, because we all know that if you start doing crazy shenanigans, you can combo off with the rogues and mill your opponent. But it's so inconsistent. Gruul you can play because you have Gilded Goose.
Yeah.
And even if you're okay, it's a 2-lander, you have 2 lands in hand, but you have the Goose, and you're fine. So then it has what was this called? Questing Beast, Scavenging Ooze. So you have all those saucy cards. Plus you have the elephant that is a land as well. So you have lands for days, you can say. Then what was the other one?
The one that you have are Dimir
and
Gruul.
Gruul, I like it because when you have the card that lets you draw a card when you cast an adventure card. Yeah. If you have a bunch of mana, and plus you have the artifact that gives you 2 mana and gives you 2 life, yeah, you can go crazy.
So you're talking about Inchwall Innkeeper, right, for the drawing?
Yeah, Inchwall Keeper. And the thing is, guys, that I almost decked myself because I started drawing so many cards. You know that is not a you may trigger, so you cast the card, you draw. Yeah. So I casted so many things I both of us had like a bunch of creatures in the game, and I was like, okay, so this all depends of who attacks first and makes the big mistake. Sadly, I lost because it was this mutate deck with the tokens. So he had a bunch of 6/6. He had like 26/6 creature. I'm like, well, this is my doom. I felt like Kaiba in that second episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! When he threw Exodia. Yeah, that's how I felt. Destroyed.
I'm checking.
This is impossible. No.
I'm checking the deck list. Do you think part of the problem of Dimir is that I think Dimir doesn't have like the right flip lands, right? So you have to play temples. Is that the problem?
You have flip lands and then you have the temples. The issue here is that there are so many copies of the same card. So you have 4 crabs, you have 4 of each rogue.
Yep.
And then I would say the key card that helps the deck like combo off in the sense that if you're about to mill your opponent, you have no field, is the land, the sorcery that you can pay 3 swamps and X, depending on how much you waste. That's the number of cards that you can get with the different mana cost.
Oh yeah,
I remember. I don't know the name of the card.
Yeah.
I'm really bad with names.
Don't worry.
But that card is like the key card. Why? Because even though you have your companion, and when you're like zeroed out, you draw that card, you pay X for 5. You find the 1-drop, the female rogue, that when a rogue enters the battlefield, you can the opponent mills 3. I mean 2, my bad.
Agadeem's Awakening?
Exactly.
Yeah, Agadeem's Awakening. So then you start picking up other rogues. There's not a 3-drop rogue. So if they already killed your companion, you can get your companion, and then you can cast another rogue and say, okay, so I have like 1,000,000 triggers in the stack, so you will mill a bunch of cards. So that saves you. And then there's another archetype that is the Dimir Control. Dimir Control is more fun. The fact that Dimir Control, you can actually make the opponent not play. So if you play your counters right, your opponent won't play for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you're stopping them. Got it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I did check the Gruul deck, and I feel like one of the things that benefits the Gruul deck immensely is having both the the Innkeeper and also having the Great Henge, because you're allowing green to have draw and a lot of ramp for cheap, because the Henge can get down into the field very quickly, and then you just start value town, because you're just like threat draw.
No, and not only that, you cast a creature and it gets a counter.
Oh yeah, exactly. No, the Great Henge is kind of insane, and also you have a finisher in Evergreen. So
thinking about the Great Henge, imagine the Great Henge in a mono green Azuri deck.
Like in an elf deck.
Yes,
it's insane. Yeah, I need to get one for my Azuri deck. Actually, I haven't gotten the chance.
It would be so good in Omnath, just mono green Omnath. I would just float all your lands, make Omnath giant, it makes it cheaper, just slam it down.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Oh my god, we're
slam it down in turn 4 as like turn 3 Omnath, turn 4, just slam it down.
Okay, so our friend Chris, he's talking to us in our private chat. He says that the problem with that card, there's too many cards with a similar mana cost, and that's true.
I'm assuming he's talking about Agadeem's Awakening.
Yeah, he's talking about the Awakening card. Yeah, and it is true. The card is very, very, like, again, you have so many 1-drops, so many 2-drops, so many well, you don't have that many 3-drops, but 1-drops and 2-drops are like You can be like Oprah. Here's a 1-drop for you. Here's a 1-drop for you. You get a 1-drop as well.
I kind of want to mention for those of our listeners that are just listening to the podcast, Academ's Awakening is X black for a sorcery. Return from your graveyard to the battlefield any number of target creature cards that have a different converted mana cost, X or less, and it's also a flip land. So the other side is just a basic, it's not a non-basic that adds black.
Okay, guys. So that is all for you. If you guys want to join the Arena Open, I think you still have time. Depending on your area, it's going to be 10 o'clock at night. So I think you have until midnight to play, if I'm not mistaken, depending on your time zone. So if you guys think that you are up for it, go ahead and try it out. So for our next topic, this is a topic that JP added. I think it was the same night of the show, of our past show. It was I really was intrigued about it, because it's like, what type of MTG player are you? Even though his title was, what are the different archetypes that are in Magic the Gathering? But as same way is to know what type of player are you. You can start as a control player and be like, hey, wait. Did you ask, please? Like that. Did you say please? No, you didn't. I'm countering it. Or you can be that aggro player that says, hey, I have a lot of goblins and I'm gonna swing you for a lot of ones and you're gonna die. Or you're that player that likes to play big creatures or big things and say, hey, look, it's Golos and I have a land called Field of the Dead. There's a bunch of zombies and you're going to lose. So guys, you see this, and what do you guys think about this? What you guys think, or what would you say to our viewers and listeners? How can they find their archetype? Orengo, start. Go with you first.
Oh, okay. Every co-host that we had on the show, John, JP, and Chris, we've all played together. Like, it's not a secret. We play Commander. We play Standard. They all know I generally gravitate towards control. Usually, I am that blue player that you all hate. I am that person that has to be.
Wait, what do you mean usually? It's not usually. It's in any commander you play. You don't let us play.
So I try to diversify myself, but I always end up having like a variation of a blue deck. So for the people that don't know, I have my main deck is an Urza deck that I fine-tuned to excruciating lengths so people can never play. It's a stacks deck, obviously, because that's how you build Urza. If you don't, you're doing it wrong. I've used to play Kefnet, like the zombie one that appears in Word of Spark. I used to play Thassa. Thassa's like the Thassa enchantment god. And that one I did choose because it was the most non-threatening blue commander that I've ever had. And as a pro tip, it kind of works because usually blue commanders tend to be like targeted on the field all the time. And having an indestructible little rock that gives you scry every upkeep is non-threatening. So for a very long time I used to have Thassa because of that. I used to have Baral, but Baral would just get targeted to hell and back, and mostly every other blue commander gets destroyed to hell and back. But I discovered that. So yeah, I'm usually the control player. I have dabbled in combo. I do like combo, but I like simple combo. Like I don't like to do like a 6 card combo. It's too complicated for me. I can't think too much. I guess if you're gonna like place me in a box, I'm technically Spike, I believe, or I'm at least a mixture of Spike and Johnny. Because there's 3 players. It's Timmy, Johnny, and Spike, and then you kind of like you gravitate towards one, or you kind of mix a little bit of both. Also, like if you want to discover, because that was one of the questions John asked, if you want to like discover what you might gravitate towards, it's cool if you have friends that have like a lot of decks or a lot of different decks, because you can play test and kind of like find your own style. Because the only way I figured it out, I lucked out because it was I bought a Teferi Commander deck, the Planeswalker one back in the day, and it was literally because I was like, oh, it's blue, and it was like one of the two decks that was left in the LGS I went to. I was like, oh, it's the blue color, and my friend was like, blue? Okay, cool. And then we started playing. He had the ready deck, and I destroyed him with the precon, and his deck was actually like fine-tuned, and he got pissed, and then we started power creeping each other. And
Okay. Oh my God, that was.
yeah.
I got some good comments in the chat. So Joanowski is like, ha ha ha, Beth me muero. Yeah, for all that are listening and seeing, Joanowski has his own podcast called Chichando, and he was the one that gave us the idea of using Beth from Queen's Gambit for this topic. So then we got Neo Bob X saying, "Ese migote lindo." Then
I mean, it could be mine.
It's true. It's both. It's both.
it is both. It's both. Then Emma Rock says, "Aleto es blue, nope, cancer fo."
Yeah.
Then again, Neo goes, "Siempre." We even have comments from bots saying that if you guys want to buy viewers, that don't do that. Click the link. These are scams, guys. Don't do it. If you're watching the stream, do not enter those links. Then we got Neo asking, "Quien tiene decks?" I think we all have a lot of decks.
We all have a lot of decks.
Yeah, I have 3. I used to have more, but I have 3. Then your Neo Bob again says, "Poor Daryl."
Yeah, he's a friend of ours.
Oh, okay.
That was the guy that had the ready deck that I like.
Oh, okay. Then Joanowski gives us a heart, and then he's like, "Quien tiene qué?" We're not talking about the other thing.
Yeah, he's being spicy. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, decks. Yes,
Yeah.
decks. Decks that these things, these things like this.
Commander decks.
Yeah.
Commander decks."
Commander.
So, JP, tell us your story.
Okay, so I love black. So just throwing that out there. But I'm more of a combo player. I started out like just, oh look, this little piece, when this dies, this happens. But when this enters, this happens. And just when you start combining one piece, then the other piece, then the other piece, and start making this one little machine that just starts working, and there's no stopping it. And once it's going, nobody can stop it. That's my type of deck. Generally speaking, my main deck would be right now an Ayara deck. And it is unlike the normal blue decks that Ayara just plays. Ayara, for some reason, doesn't get targeted, and when they do, I just put her in the graveyard and bring her back. So that's also part of Black's color pie and just recursion. So eventually, people just stop. I found I loved this style when with the same edition, Commander 2014. I got the mono black deck, and I also got a mono white deck for that. And a friend of mine got the ready deck, and he couldn't beat me. We just had the standard, out of the box commander decks.
Yeah.
And just look at this card, just destroys your stuff, and you can never have stuff. And I can just swing in with the team and just start building up a machine that doesn't stop, and just eventually wins out the game. So that's my style of deck. Generally speaking, I have played control and aggro. Aggro can be surprisingly fun, and I find control a bit too slow for me, because even though I'm apparently like most of my limited decks when I play in pre-releases or when I play with my cube have been control. Other than that, I've been a pretty good control player, but I find like it's too slow. I think that just playing different formats could be a very good way to find what your play style is. And I think that Commander lends itself to a lot of mid-range combo and control, not much aggro, but a lot of standard does help with aggro. So it just really does depend on what format you play.
No, yeah, that's completely true. And for me, I started when I started playing Magic. I remember there was a group of friends with that were like, well, this is Magic the Gathering. You can make your deck or whatever. I did not know like how to build a deck or anything. So I remember that the first thing that I bought, I did not even know what Commander was. So I remember I went to eBay. I saw this person selling a Commander that I did not know that was a format for like $50. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's not that bad. 100 cards for $50. Awesome. I go ahead and bought it. And when I went there, my friends were like, wait, but you just bought a Commander. I'm like, what's a Commander? So then we turned that Commander to a modern deck. A lot of the friends of that play group gave me cards and whatnot. So I made like a tribal elephants deck. I still have it. It's like my prized possession of all my collection. That deck still exists. It's a very, very janky 60 card elephant deck, but I love it because it brings a lot of good memories. But my first Commander was not a pre-con or anything. I built it from scratch. My first Commander was Scion the Dragon. So I've always loved mid-range in Commander for a long time. But in Standard, people hated me because I was the mono red player that could do it all. Back in the time that Hazoret the Fervent was a powerful card, people hated me.
It's still a powerful card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But I always remember it was like Sunscorched Desert, hit you for 1. Tap Bomat Courier, hit you for another 1. Turn 2, Mountain Earthshaker Kenra, your creature can't block, hit you for 3. It was an amazing time for Magic. But I remember that people hated, and well, for now, no, because Mono Red is not being played that much. But back in those times in Omcat, I think this lasted. Kaladesh came in with the broken Chandra. And
Kaladesh came in with the copter too.
Yeah, with the copter too.
Yeah,
You know,
insane.
but I think I'm on board with what everybody's saying. It's the same thing. You guys, to find out what type of player are you, you should try everything. Try different formats. You know, if you're with a group of friends and you're like, I want to try and play Magic the Gathering. I want to test it out and everything. Just ask one of them if they have an extra Commander. I think most of the time people that have gotten into Commander that they have left Standard has been because our play group in our local game store, we're like, hey, you want to play? Sure. Here you go. Here's the Commander. Come on. We got drugs. It's all good.
Just play a little bit. We'll have fun.
You know, let me see. Okay, I'm just trying to see because I think Chris wants to say something before we move to the other topic. I'm gonna add him. He's right there. Here's Chris, guys.
Hey.
Hey guys, I am on my way home. I'll be home very soon. It's already locked down. At least I have my papers that allow me to be outside. So what I did want to mention is, yeah, I completely agree with you guys. The way to figure out what you really like to play is definitely by playing multiple formats. It took me a while to figure out that I just like playing everything, to be honest. Like, sure, I played Timmy for a long time, just dropping huge dragons and huge creatures. I remember that the first, official deck that I built was a vampire deck. That's the one that I actually, sat down and started looking for cards myself. The first deck I built, and I used to love it. It was, hella aggro, but at the same time, I was trying to get make my creatures huge. So there's where I started to trying to combine these different archetypes. I was trying to make an aggro deck be super tinny by at the end just putting in these creatures that would either get huge with time or would just drop a huge creature. So my friends would just look at me and be like, hey, okay, are you trying to be a Timmy or are you trying to be an aggro player? And I'm like, oh, what's that? And I don't know, in the end, I kind of discovered through playing various formats, including draft, playing standard, trying my hand at modern, which is still low-key my favorite format, but I just haven't gone into it as much as I would like to. And Commander, I've just really I just love the game of Magic the Gathering so much that whatever is in my hands, I will try my best to play it, and I just love it. Sure, I do have my preferences. I do love dropping huge creatures and huge threats on the table for everyone to just look at, and I also like doing a whole lot of nothing. I like just drawing my whole deck and putting it all on the table. But in the end, I just kind of figured I like playing everything, so that's why what I kind of strive for in my decks, to play everything. But yeah, it was a journey really. From when I started with that deck of commons that I built, I remember that instead of building a real deck, the first thing we did, me and my group of friends, was go to one of the local game stores here in Mayagüez, and we just picked out a bunch of commons because they would give them out for free. So we were like, wait, free Magic cards? Oh hell yeah! We would just dive into the box of commons and build decks that way. And I don't know, it really was that journey of starting with that deck of commons, then building my vampire deck, then building my dragon deck to play casual with my friends. Then after that I moved on to standard, modern, and now we moved on to the big boys game, Commander.
I like the fact that he's the big boys game, Commander. Yeah. What are you saying? That the rest of the formats are for little kids?
For little children, they don't count.
Except vintage, those are for old people.
Yeah, for vintage and for old people. Yeah, exactly.
Just another level. I can't touch
vintage. Vintage is where you have to take you have to remortgage your house to buy at least one card.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Sure.
Full. But that is all for now, guys. I will talk to you guys when I get home, all right?
Sure thing. Stay safe.
Alrighty. Thank you, dude.
No problem. Well, that is the other co-host that's missing. He'll be back. But yeah, it is true. I'm going to say it. I got to play. I think that was my biggest financial mistake that I did. When I got into modern, I built mono green Tron. I built what was this deck called? Dang it, I forgot. It's the Burn deck. Burn. I built Burn. I don't remember what was the other card. Oh, and the other deck. I had 3 modern decks. I had Burn, Demir, Mill, and Tron. By that time when I built those decks, I had I would say that whoever would have gotten my backpack would have gotten at least $5,000 in cards. And it was only because the modern decks were very expensive back in the day because of all those fetch lands, and there were not that many reprints. Not like now. You can find Lightning Bolt for what, $2 now or $1?
Yeah,
around that.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
But now let's go to our next topic of the night, because like I mentioned at the start of the program, our last topic is the most interesting one, and it's thanks to Orengo that he found it. We were like, damn, I think we need one more topic, and then out of the blue it came out. So our next topic of tonight, let me put this like this, just in case if I don't make a mistake. Okay, let's go. Whoop. Yeah. Transition, yes. So, why Magic the Gathering stories will be blocked in some parts of the world or countries. This article was taken out on the 11th, if I'm not mistaken, of December of this week. No, that was yesterday. Yeah, around yesterday or Thursday. So we all know that Wizard of the Coast takes their lore. You can get the lore for free on their website. But in exception for the series of War of the Sparks, they made 2 books giving like a beginning and an end of the lore, like that fans could read the lore in a book. But something happened in War of the Sparks Forsaken. In War of the Sparks Forsaken, there is a love interest between Nisa and Chandra, and in China, that was not taken in well, and Wizard of the Coast had to drop down the lore page of Forsaken because of that. And Wizard of the Coast made a statement about this week. They mentioned that they are going to keep moving forward their lore, but in certain parts of the country, it will be blocked due to their laws and their beliefs. Now, JP, you listen to this. What do you think? Should they do this, or do you think it's just a way to respect each country's belief?
I feel like they should be able to do this. If someone wants to read lore, there's various ways you can circumvent some areas and actually read what you want to read. The controversy was actually quite big. The entire book is a problem because a lot of the writing, like in terms of actual novel, its writing is questionable because it has very good parts, but a lot of bad parts, and they took that criticism pretty harshly. And a lot of the current lore is very like much better, at least in the writing department. So I feel like they should, if continue with this, if it allows better writing and better stories, better lore.
Okay, but what do you say, because the thing is that Wizard of the Coast is going to continue the lore as it is. The only thing that they're going to do is just block if the lore does not go to the terms and conditions of the country. It will be blocked. So let's say that they move on forward with having more planeswalkers being gay, or let's say that they enter a planeswalker that is trans, but this country does not accept those things, but they're gonna block it there, but they're gonna continue with the lore.
I feel like that's fine. I do feel like that's fine. If a character is made to be a way, then let the character be that way. That way it doesn't interfere with the writing. If the writing is good, then it's gonna be good. And if the character's supposed to be that way, then let it be that way.
Okay. How about you, Orengo? What do you think about this? Same question. And just in case, guys, Chris just pointed out something. All of this information, you can find it in epicstreams.com. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and for everybody that is listening to us, the link will be available in our description for you guys in the podcast format. So Orengo, what do you think? Do you think this is okay? Do you think that this is going to bring us more diversity between characters in the lore? What are your thoughts?
I'm not much of a lore person, and you guys know that. I'm like, is the card good? Good. I don't care what the lore, Jace did that and he's a pirate and now he's normal. I don't care. I want a good Jace card. That's kind of my mentality towards lore. But I know a lot of people like lore. And, thinking of a different fandom that enjoys supplementary material would be Star Wars fans. I mean, they built a whole universe after George Lucas finished the first 3 books. So I do understand people like lore. The thing about blocking it in other countries, I mean, we live in an internet age, so I feel like if anyone wants to consume it, unless it's very difficult for X or Y reason, they can probably find a way to consume it. I feel it's a little unfair. If the consumer wants to get a product, they should be allowed to get it because it's their money, they're spending however they want. But that thing about blocking content for other people, I don't like. The same reason I don't like certain secret layers, like most of the secret layers, and not all. They can't be shipped everywhere, and that's a concern that I have as well. So I feel like this shouldn't be blocked anywhere. This should be allowed to be anywhere that people want to consume it, either as a physical, PDF, I don't care. People want it, they should be able to get it without having to be blocked or censored or whatever. It should just be unfiltered and whatever it is. So
Yeah, but having it unfiltered and uncensored is what brings the problems with the other countries.
yeah, I know. I mean, no one's gonna torch buildings because of a Ravnica book. I feel so.
No, yeah, but don't you think that this is like what happens with I don't think that in Magic the Gathering I haven't seen or I haven't looked forward to see if this has happened. Let's put an example in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh have a lot of cards that are censored when they come to the States. Even in Pokemon, there's a couple of cards that have been censored as well. There's this one Misty card when the Gym Leader Gym Heroes set came in. There was this Japanese Misty card that she's holding Starmie or Starry, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have a bathing suit. She's naked.
Yeah.
And then when it came in the States, they put a bathing suit on her because they censored it. As well with in Yu-Gi-Oh, Harpy Lady, Dark Magician Girl, most of the female cards, their breast size are shorter or smaller. They have clothing. Pentagrams are erased due to religion issues, just in case, because we all know Dark Magic Curtain, that skull, it's not a thing that is from Jesus. We all know that.
I mean, you could also argue that with Magic the Gathering with the arts. The original demonic tutor had the demon with the pentagram on its forehead, and
Right.
further printings of it until a certain point just removed that completely and just added an entirely different art because there was a huge controversy around that.
Don't you think that the reprints of old cards are not being reprinted because of that?
Over can be a problem in terms of I'm not sure if licensing is a problem, but like some cards, like I can take a pretty obvious stance on Invoke Prejudice. Actually, card that,
Yeah,
that's a card that shows a depiction of what would be the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's a very problematic thing to have on a card.
Yeah,
So sometimes it's like censoring. Sometimes it's necessary, but like it's very selectively. Like you have to be very careful what you do. But not everything has.
Okay,
censored.
but just so I understand, they're not censoring. They're just blocking the books, right? Or the
No,
story.
they're okay. So what they're going to do is Forsaken has been completely blocked from China.
Okay.
But what they're going to do is that they're going to further along their story. So the next set is Kaldheim. So let's say that in Kaldheim, one of the characters is trans.
Okay.
Let's say that the new planeswalker is trans. So for further having no issues with nobody from, and so let's say that X country does not accept the whole LGBTQ plus community, so that country or those countries won't have access to that lore because Wizard of the Coast knows that country does not support like trans or homosexuals or gays, so on, moving forward. So they're going to not have that lore available. But other countries will have it because, well, they support LGBTQ plus communities and so on and so forward. So that's
Are
what.
they?
So there is a big difference then, because then you're blocking complete lore versus your examples from earlier, which was just censoring. Like, sure, Monster Reborn was a cross that was, indicative of religion, but we still got Monster Reborn in the first set. It was just like a weird feathery cross that made, like, it was so ambiguous, but we still got it. We just got it in a different form. They're not even getting the lore. That's why I feel it's a problem. Like, that's because if you're really like a consumer of the lore, you're gonna miss out on a chunk of a planeswalker's backstory because you're in China. For example, I don't know which countries they're doing this, but assuming China's one, because they do censor a lot. They do censor a lot, and they do ban a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So I feel that's a problem, because you're gonna miss people who are interested in it. You're gonna miss out, and that sucks, man. That's kind of, I understand, because WotC wants to make good. They don't want to like upset like a whole like region because of they pushing a book or pushing their lore. If that country as a whole doesn't accept X or Y, so I get it from a money standpoint. They don't want to piss off anybody, but for the consumer that wouldn't care, or if they would care, they would be like, oh, okay, they're trans, I need to deal with my own bigotry and accept this or whatever. But I get it. It's not everyone's on the same plane. I in my personal opinion, I would just like either put it out there, or if you feel it might be problematic for X or Y reason, then maybe adjust that section, I guess, but still let them have the lore, because it's part of it, and it's a part that people enjoy. Like, I know JP loves lore, I know you love lore, I know Chris loves lore. So it's an extension. You play that card, you're like, okay, I remember because there's a backstory to this, and then I have this other card that actually has conjunction to this. And if you're blocked from that lore, you actually don't know there's a connection from this card to this enchantment to this sorcery, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm. I understand where you're coming from, but like if they didn't block the book or the upcoming things that might be controversial in that same country might just block it themselves, and they could just cut down the ties.
I get it. I know. That's why I said from a money standpoint, I completely understand why Wizards is doing it. But if I was in command, I'd be like, screw it. Just
No, it's completely. Yeah, I think it's more Wizard of the Coast just respecting these countries and their beliefs. I still haven't read the books. I bought them because it was very random. I went to Barnes and Nobles because it's one of my favorite stores that I go to. Like, when I go to the States, I need to go to Barnes and Nobles because books, people. I love to read books, even though I take a long time to read them, but I like to read books. But when I saw it, they had them. I'm like, yes, okay. So I got them. Sadly, I couldn't get them hardcover. Almost all my book collections, they're all hardcovers. But I'm really interested in reading what the story conveys. I would like to see more books of Magic the Gathering. I know that when Wizard of the Coast was starting, you could find lore in magazines and in a lot of books, comic books. I remember that there was this store. I don't remember which store was it, but they had incomplete set of comic books from Wizard of the Coast of the Magic the Gathering, and I couldn't get it. So when I turned my back, somebody got it and left. I'm like, dang it, I missed a chance. But our next topic of tonight, that I hope that Chris makes it to this one, because I know that he might have a lot to talk about for this one. Our next topic, thanks to Orengo, it's this one, because hey, things happen in the web, but apparently 21 commanders did not make the cut for Commander Legends, and that's a lot to say. Why? Because that means that we would have more commanders, more possible commanders. But again, these cards, guys, when you see when we put the picture bigger of the topic, you'll see that these are high quality cards that you can print them out. And if you have a play group that is interested in playing, cards that do not exist, you have a chance. But think about it. 21 cards that would possibly be in Commander Legends.
Yeah.
This says a lot. Why? Because it's like, come on, look at that. Oh,
Okay.
this is one set, guys. This
Yep.
part, and this is another set. Like, there's so many.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna keep the screen for a while. You're gonna see my mouse in the screen. But it's like that. You guys can, the viewers can, like, know which ones we're talking about. But let's start with Orengo. That Orengo was the one that gave us the wink wink. Hey, look, 21 commander cards that did not make it.
And I want to mention something beforehand.
Yeah.
These were given to us by Gavin Verhey. He is a Magic Gathering designer, and he posted this on Good Morning Magic. And we're using art and cards from the photos given through the Commander's Quarters, his YouTube channel, where he made a video about it.
Yeah, he made a video, and that's how I found about it, basically.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you guys, Gavin, he's an amazing person. He's crazy in the head. He says that to make unstable sets takes 5 years, but I believe it, because them mechanics are crazy.
Yeah.
But the commander, if you guys check them out, the video, it's really cool. They talk about each card very briefly. The video is not that long, but I know that we will, like, depending on the card, we will be like, hey, I would have loved to build the commander of this. So Orengo, tell me, 21 commanders, what do you think about this? 21 possibilities.
It's really cool. I see some of them, and when we start discussing them, we'll realize it. Some of them are a little too broken. So I'm actually thinking that what happened was in the little playtesting that they probably do, they realized, yeah, this is a little too much for what we're doing. So, but Gavin did say that down the line he does want to include these commanders in other sets, in supplemental sets, in standard sets or whatever, because he does value a lot of them because they are part of the lore. Like, when you get into Ophelios, when you get to Astronaut, they're all very like important cards. Like when Ursa came out, I flipped out. So I know that for a lot of people, when they see some of these characters, exactly like Astronaut, I know JP, he's gonna crush with that card. So like I'm happy that he leaked. I'm happy that I guess he leaked them, quote unquote, because it lets us know that they're thinking about the commander players. I mean, obviously, because we are the people that consume the most product. I feel like, at least paper product, I'm pretty sure we are bar none the most that we consume. So
I think so, the same way. I think in terms of, like, you have your standard players that they buy only standard products. You have your modern players that they buy singles because they don't need to buy boxes. Then you have us that we buy boxes for fun.
Yeah.
We're like, we need one card, but let's see if we can make money off of this.
And it got exacerbated by the fact that we are in a pandemic, and they decided this year to be Commander year. So it was like the combination of the two showed them, and I'm pretty sure it showed them by the numbers, that we are the players that consume the most paper products out there, easily, because there's no standard tournaments in paper. So the standard players don't have an incentive, and modern players and pioneer players don't have an incentive. They have an incentive in PGO, they have an incentive in Arena. That's why they're pushing so many Arena Opens. But for us, we could just pluck a webcam. We can be janky about it because we don't really care who wins, who loses. We're gonna be like talking for 3 hours playing. So that's why, like, we're like, oh, and then there's a new set and there's new commanders, So yeah.
No, yeah. There's one of the cards that I'm really interested. Mother Yamazaki.
Oh yeah, it's a really fun mechanic. But we should put them in like in order so JP can finally talk about Ash.
Yo, I know JP has a lot to talk about.
There's also Asmorana Mardikadal Stinek Kuldakar.
Sure.
There's that one.
That's true.
That's a very long name. Damn.
That's a crazy name.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. But for what I see, most of them are very, very high cost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's something I was like, mention.
Oh, I
There's
like
several
one.
Rakdos commanders.
But
There
let's
are-
talk. Let's start talking about the first one. The first one is Astronaut the Uncaring. What we're gonna do, guys, whoever's watching the show, we're gonna mention each one, and if there's something to say for each one, we'll just jump into the next one. Like that, we don't make this like a 3-hour podcast. And then if your guys are listening to it, then we'll just link you the video link in our podcast format, just in case if you guys want to see the cards. But Astronaut the Uncaring, he's a legendary human artificer, 3/4 CMC of 5, Rakdos in 3. His ability is sacrifice a creature. You get 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. But he has another ability is tap, put a 1/1 counter on target non-artifact creature. That creature becomes an artifact in addition to its other types. Okay, JP, we all know that this is a card that you would use.
Okay, yeah.
Tell me.
Just a little fix. It's a she. She's a lady.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yes. Anyways, Astronaut the Uncaring. It's just Astronaut's Altar on a stick with an additional ability.
Yeah.
Astronaut's Altar is one of my favorite cards. It's probably in every single deck I've ever made. And just having it on access to it every single time as a commander would be is crazy. Just the additional ability. If she was just sacrifice a creature, add color, double colorless to your mana pool, if that were it, that would be perfect. But having an additional ability, it's just gravy on top.
Yeah.
Just so many combos you can make with her. I'm kind of sad that she's just Rakdos colors, because she's Mishra's apprentice in the lore, and she could have been Grixis colors, which would have been even more juicy.
And insane.
Yeah. Definitely.
No, JP,
Grixis
no.
colors with all those abilities. Ooh. I'm saying her mana cost being 5 mana is kind of a bummer, but it's fine. There's so many combos you can make. You have no idea how many combos Astronaut Altar just enables. There's various infinite combos.
Yeah.
I've probably played them all.
It is spicy that it's an Artificer Rakdos colors. That's pretty
I know,
cool.
right?
It's kind of it's different. Like I've only seen I think there was the Ready card, the Ready Planeswalker that was Rakdos that did like Artificer type things. So it's not usually a combination that deals with artifacts that I know.
Rakdos colors does fit her.
This card can actually be a piece for that combo with the artifacts, so you can go off and recycle everything.
Nim Death Mantle, if I'm not mistaken, is that the one you're talking about?
I think so. It's the one that you get like this artifact that sacrifices creatures. You sacrifice like a specific card. I don't remember the card. It was a deck that was in Modern. That, huh?
No, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the one that keeps going. You let it go, you're done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Nim Death Mantle is probably one of the easiest Astronaut Altar combos. And Astronaut, if like this card would be real, then Astronaut would be an easy combo with Nim Death Mantle. It'd be an auto include.
This would be this would be a very popular commander if they printed it. And like JP said, even if it only had the first ability, not even the second one, it would be used even if it costs 5 mana. Because once that thing drops and no one deals with it, you just go off.
Yeah.
Drowsies, just constructs, just infinite mana. So many possibilities.
Oh, and the good thing is that thanks to Ikoria, there is Ikoria, was it? Yeah, it was Ikoria. One of the Ikoria commanders brought that red spell that protects your commander if your commander is in the game, that you can pay for free, that you can choose another target. So it's like,
Deflecting Swap.
Yeah, that card. So literally, it's a perfect card to be a commander. Come on, you know, me.
Yeah, just in case for our listeners, the Deflecting Swat is a 2 and a red for an instant. If you control a commander, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost, and you may choose new targets for target spell or ability.
Broken. Oh my god.
Just a
okay,
free
so
counter spell. Yeah.
So our next card is Urkyle, founder of Latnem, my bad. It's blue, white, and 2, so 4 CMC card, legendary creature, human wizard that says whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on the creature. I'm not gonna say that name again. That's too long. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Urkel has 3 or more counters on it, on her, return all artifact target player controls to their owner's hand. It's a 3/3.
Yeah.
This is like a control commander.
It's like a Cheerios deck, I feel.
I feel my mind went automatically combo.
This is something
Like,
that Orengo
combo.
would play.
It's a little janky. Like I would prefer Joyra, for example, because with
Oh,
Cheerios
yeah.
I'm drawing more. But this one's interesting because it's like, well, I do Cheerios like a madman, and then I think it's in upkeep, everything bounces back. I have like a Gigantor creature, and I start swinging with it. So it's an interesting play on an artifact deck.
If I'm not mistaken, you can also bounce another player's artifacts.
Oh yeah, no, it's literally Hercule's.
Yeah,
recall.
it says return all artifacts target player. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
choose.
Yeah,
can
so you
choose.
can just oh yeah, I just bounce all your
Mana rocks. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
your mana
exactly.
rocks. It's gone.
And it's for every artifact that enters the battlefield. So it's yours and your opponent's, which it's gonna add up quickly and it's gonna become an easy threat to deal with. So you can make like a little Voltron-y deck with some Cheerio stuff. You can combo off, and since it's Saurius, you can definitely combo off. So it has like a lot of routes. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. So you can make like you can actually do like artifact control, or you can go boom with all artifacts. Have a certain like artifact prison. There's so many things you can do with this card. So the next card is a card that I know that it's already been printed, but it has a different effect. Is Rofello's Voice of Javi Maya. It's a mono green card, CMC 5, 2 greens and 3 colorless. Legendary Elf Shaman. Whenever Rofello Voice attacks for the first time each turn, let's clarify. Each turn, untap all your lands.
That's fair. I feel that's completely fair.
It's actually not bad. Actually,
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
feel like for
It's a
five,
2/2.
It's a
two-
partner too. It's a partner. You need to remember that it's a partner.
yeah.
That's where it gets broken because you just mix it with any blue partner, and that's where it goes insane.
Not only that, let's add in another card.
Sure.
Like that we can say how broken this card can be.
Yeah.
So there's this other mono green card. Is CMC is 4, 1 green and 3. Elada Mir or Mir
Damri.
the Uniter. It's a legendary creature elf druid that says whenever Eldamri enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green elf creature token for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone this turn. But wait, there's more. Whenever Eldamri attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Partner.
It's a partner too, and it's a 1/1 too.
Yeah. Hey, we got somebody. He's chewing gum.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright.
So you imagine Rofellos and Eldamri like partnering up?
It's horrifying. I can see it. But Rofellos has a very strong ability, even though it's a 2/2. I mean, it's whenever it attacks for the first. Thank God it says the first time each turn,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
not every time he attacks, because you can combine it with. I think there's one of them who can, like, if he attacks, you can untap or whatever and have a second battle phase or whatever. If you start doing that type of shenanigans, it becomes ridiculous. But even as part of the 99, I feel like this is a really strong card. You know?
Yeah, because the original Rofellos, he only gives you mana.
The other Rofellos
If I'm
is
not
stronger.
mistaken.
It's super broken.
The other Rofellos is absolutely stronger. He's banned in Commander for a reason.
Yeah, it's bad.
Actually,
It's
Actually.
like double green for Rofellos, Llanowar Emissary, and
Yeah.
taps for green mana and adds 1 green mana for each forest you control.
Which is insane.
It's a 2/1.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Even-
and-
can you guys hear me, by the way?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what I was gonna say is,
I just realized that Rafellos would be kind of ridiculous if you partner him up with a red commander, and
agree.
then you have that legendary Minotaur that every time you drop a land, he gives you like an extra combat phase or something like that. It's like ridiculous.
Rafael's only
Does
once
it the first time? That's
the
why.
first time. That's why he's not less broken.
That's why
No,
I was
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
you
that's-
partner it up with a blue one, and then you have like an extra turns deck. So you just be like extra turn after I attacked, extra turn after I attack, extra turn after I attack, and it
Yeah.
kind of goes crazy.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but you can still have a Gruul deck about it because like,
Yeah.
you know, on tapping 7 mana, like that's ridiculous.
Untapping 7 mana in a Gruul deck.
And you
Hey!
could probably
Wait a
stack it,
second.
right? Like if you put like the sword of, there's one of the swords that you can untap your lands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty sure
yeah.
you can probably do
Uh,
shenanigans,
Sort of Feast and Famine.
right? You can probably do shenanigans on the stack, the 2
Uh,
triggers or
there's
something.
there's also no, but the Sword of Feast and Famine is after you deal combat damage.
Okay.
The Sword of Feast and Famine reads, I think it's like 3 mana, has protection from black, like the creature has protection from black and green, and when you hit, the opponent has to discard a card and you untap all your lands.
Right. Okay.
One of the ones you could be thinking about is Bear Umbra.
Right.
Bear Umbra is the enchantment that's 2 and a green. It's an aura. It has totem, totem armor, and when the enchanted creature attacks, you untap all your lands.
Yeah. So you can
I
probably
think
stack,
you can stack those.
you can stack those. It becomes
Oh
kind of
my
a thing.
god.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's
But also you don't get to keep that mana because it's in combat.
True, but you can probably use it for like a boost, like a berserker or something. crazy.
exactly.
But also, if we're thinking like in blue green, you can maybe add Kupa's God of Horizons. He has a little clause that says you don't lose mana. So
Yeah. That's true.
Gee, oh my god, so many. Oh no. So our next card is Mother Yamazaki, the legendary creature human samurai. Borrows 2. It's a 4 CMC. Red, white, and 2. It has double strike. Other legendary permanents and samurai you control get +2/+2 and haste. In Commander, you may play another copy of Mother Yamazaki as a partner. If you do, the legend rule does not apply.
this is very reminiscent to the card. It's like it's the point of the card being like Brothers Yamazaki. It's a card from Kamigawa. It basically has the same mechanic or similar mechanic. Like it's a legendary creature, and if there's another Brother Yamazaki on play, the legend rule does not apply, and they buff each other up. The ability of pumping creatures up would have been really good in a Captain Sisei's deck. Captain Sisei's being like, I think it's like 2 and a white. She gets bigger, the more color permanents are in play. You can search more permanents. I'm not sure they have to
Legendary
be,
permanents.
yeah, exactly. Okay, they have to be legendary, and she works like Mother Yamazaki works with legendaries. You start, building this legends deck. I feel like that would have been cool. I feel like this could be a character they could add, but at the same time, like as a character, I don't know much about Kamigawa, so I'm not sure how likely this is to be added. And potentially a +4/+4 is very, very strong, probably game ending.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like this would be more of a 99 type of card instead of Commander. Because
Yeah, but just imagine, the legend rule does not apply.
It only does not apply for Mother Yamazaki.
Well, hold
No,
on.
yeah.
It's here that in Commander you may play another copy of her as a partner. So does that refer to like that partner rule that came up? I think it was in not Jumpstart, Battle Bond, or would it be the partner rule as in you have like 2 of her in your command zone?
Yeah,
I
you can
think
have 2 of her in your command
Over
zone.
as your command zone.
Okay, I guess that's not as OP. It's like, because if it was like the other partner rule in which you can
No,
like
yeah,
switch
but
up the other partner,
It's
that'd be
strong.
ridiculous.
Like
It's still
Oh,
strong
yeah, no, it
because
is. It
remember, the legendary rule does not apply. So if they're both in game, that's +4/+4 for all of your legendary or samurai permanents, and they have haste.
I see
So it has double strike. So yeah, this is and remember, so like it says other, so one will buff the other, so they'll both be 4/4s. So it's like, hey, how about I cast everything for free? Omniscience, boom, you die. Or steal the omniscience from a player. That would be interesting.
Omniscience,
So,
yeah.
so the next card is called Predator. I don't know why would they call a card like that, but sure.
I'm pretty sure that that's like I haven't heard about that being in Magic lore, but that is like from what I can see, that's pretty much the counterpart to like the Weatherlight,
Well,
like
the
in the
Weatherlight,
art
yeah.
style and everything. Yeah.
But just to give you context, Christopher, these are 21 cards that were not considered in Commander Legends. So the art was added by Commander Quarters. So this is not like the correct art for the cards. So this
yeah,
is
that part I didn't know. All right.
yeah. So this is a legendary artifact vehicle that costs black and 3. It has flying, and whenever Predator attacks, you may sacrifice X creatures that crewed it this turn. When you do, destroy X target creatures defending your player controls. The crew is 7, is a partner, and he can be your commander.
I feel like
And it's
is,
an 8/6.
this is not a good card in my opinion.
No, I don't feel it like if it's a good card.
The crew is way too high. If I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like a counterpart to the Weatherlight, but going through that area of thought, there's a card in Kaladesh, and there's the card in Kaladesh that just does 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker when enters or attacks, and the Weatherlight itself, the actual card. Those are just better artifact, just legendary artifact vehicles to have. This as a commander just doesn't spark any interest in me.
But what if you add another color and make it a token-based commander, where you can use the 1/1s to crew it and sacrifice the tokens to destroy 7 different creatures.
Crew 7 is still a lot. Like,
No, I know that.
yeah, like that's just the main thing about it. Crew 7 is just way too much. Even if you had a lot of tokens lying around, Crew 7 is just too much.
How much in crew would you add?
I would make it Crew 5 at maximum, but I'll also kind of maybe change the stats a bit.
Yeah,
Like,
like, 8/6 is kind of ridiculous.
I'll make it. Let's see. Let's make it 5 mana. Just theoretically, 5 mana, Crew 5, and a 7/5. That would be very strong, a lot stronger. It's less creatures you actually destroy, but it's less, less of a commitment because you don't have to sacrifice 7 creatures. Considering like if they were 1/1 tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's exactly what they were probably trying to go for. They were trying to just make sure that it's like a huge commitment so that it's like, it's still an 8/6 flyer for 4 mana. Like, sure, it has the crew cost, which is ridiculous. So in the end, is it really a 4 cost flyer? Well, not really, because you have that crew cost. But I think that was kind of the whole point, destroying what X target creatures were in this case, at minimum would be 7. I don't know, destroying 7 target creatures in a table of commanders kind of
7 creatures if you sacrifice 7. It's like if you sacrifice 7 creatures.
Yeah,
it could be less. Like if you.
But at the same time, it's defending players, so it depends on which player you attack.
Oh, my bad. I missed the defending player part. Ooh, that definitely cripples it a lot. Never mind.
So the next card, I think JP knows how to say this one.
Yes. Let me just in case I don't wanna say it. It's Asmorano Mardikadal Stinakaldukar. Let me say that one more time. Asmorano Mardikadal Stinakudakar.
Okay,
That's
now
so
say
long,
that 3
man.
times really fast.
I don't want my tongue to suffer. Anyways, I had to Google the lore, I had to. Like that name alone, and her lore is like it's hilarious. She summons a demon. The demon's gonna eat her. She says, "No, no, no! I'll just become a chef," and makes a demonic cookbook. That's
Wait,
hilarious.
wait. A demonic cookbook?
Yes, a demonic cookbook. And then she escapes, but then everything she wrote in the cookbook that says, "Oh yes, this demon is delicious," and then that demon is just hunting her because he's like, "You said I'm delicious," and it's just so very like wacky that I feel like she should get a card eventually. Like that would be pretty cool. Her abilities,
I enjoy
after
this.
reading her lore, her abilities don't fit that well. I would have loved if they would have used the food mechanic again. That would have been great.
Yeah, that's what I was in my mind. I was like, wait, was this creature done like in Eldraine? Okay, so she is Rakdos 2 CMC, 1 black and 1 red, legendary creature, human wizard that at the beginning of your end step, each player chooses one for themselves. So, 3 abilities. My bad. Destroy target permanent you own, discard a card, or lose 2 life. And it's a 3/2. I don't know. It seems fun, because you can put this in turn 2.
Mhm.
But I think it all depends on what type of like commander you build through with her.
I feel like if you do a 1v1, it might become kind of insane because you're going to deprive resources very quickly in a 1v1 situation.
She's a 3/2, 2 mana 3/2. That's actually really relevant. Actually,
I agree as well.
So our next card is Bruena, Nerok Commander, legendary creature, human rogue, CMC. She's a blue creature, 2 blues and 4 colorless. That says, whenever a creature deals combat damage to an opponent, you draw a card. She has an ability as well. There's 1 blue and 2 colorless. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. She has the same partner mechanic, and she's a 4/4. This is a huge creature to cast.
yeah, I don't
I'm not a
feel
fan of that 6 costs.
Me
I-
neither.
It's
And-
good for like a Locust God deck. Like I would stick her in the 99 in Locust God deck. I know
Okay,
she's
yeah.
probably expensive, but there's a lot of enchantments that for 4 mana do literally the same thing. So like if you want like redundancy in that regard, she's okay, but she's not like amazing. Like I wouldn't stick her as a partner with anything because the ability, unless you can have like infinite mana, you can make all your creatures unblockable and swing and kill someone. Sure, but that's as far as you go with it.
But if you have infinite mana, there's just other ways to win that are easy.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
If you're playing blue,
That's
you
a
should be-
mini win condition right there. That's something that I would put as
Yeah,
a win
exactly.
just to mess with
But,
you
like,
guys.
the first ability, Coastal Piracy and Bident of Thassa, they do exactly the same thing, and they're worth 4 mana. Kindred Discovery does a bit more, and like when it enters and when it attacks, you just get to draw cards.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Isn't there an enchantment that was in Rivals of Ixalan that it was like you pay, I think was 1 blue or 1 blue and a colorless that gives you the same ability?
No, there's a couple. There's so
There's
many.
a couple, yeah. And also, Edric Spymaster of Trust. It's like a 1 blue and a green, so you get 2 colors already. And whenever you deal combat damage, you get to draw a card, but it also affects with everybody. I feel like that's just simply better. Like a 3 mana
But does he
2/2.
have partner?
3 mana 2/2 though.
I feel like this is just a 99 type of card. Like if you
Yeah.
have a deck that attacks and it's in blue.
I don't know. I don't think I'd even put her in the deck unless I'm trying to be like, unless like the point of me building the deck is me just being like, you know what?
You
I
can-
specifically want to put this card in a deck just to mess with people. Like that's
But
the only
you can
reason why I would
actually-
put her in the deck.
you can actually use her with the new rogue commander that came out this year.
Okay.
She can
That
be
could be
added as
interesting.
like a tribal commander.
That could actually be interesting, yeah. She could fit in that niche really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can either defeat your opponent by taking their life away or mill them.
Yeah, I just really don't like the 6 cost, man. I really
No,
don't.
that cost is ridiculous. Like 6 mana.
Yeah.
If you
Jesus.
were like, even if it were 5, I would still be like, yes, I want to play this. Like, I would totally go for it. But at 6, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like playing commanders that come down for 6. Like, I was just messing around with some of my with my deck. I actually have it right here. That's what I've been looking at this entire time. I kind of made a really janky Bruticlad, but I just kept thinking, like, damn, it's a 6-cost commander. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard to play around 6-cost commanders, considering that nowadays you have, taking Ale here as an example, we have him playing Urza. It's
Winter Orb
down for 4, and then we have just all these other really good commander cards that come down for 4 mana, 3 mana. And what am I going to do with my 6 mana commander over here if someone's playing freaking, I don't know, literally anything with blue in it? It's like, okay, I'm just going to cast this commander card, which is supposed to be hella OP at 6 mana. Oh, I've been literally saving a counter for you this entire time. Congratulations. You just now pay 8 for it.
That is completely
Send
true.
it
So
to the graveyard. Reanimate it.
Exactly, reanimated cheaper.
There you go. Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah.
That's actually what I was planning on doing with the Bruticlad deck, but I've had a little bit of struggle getting some reanimation cards because I need to go shopping on TCG Player.
So our next card is Tangarth of the Weatherlight.
Which, if
It's
I'm
a
not mistaken, is he
CMC.
not? Yeah.
CMC 6, 2 red and 4, legendary Minotaur Warrior, double strike trample. As long as Tangarth is attacking or blocking, players can't cast spells or activate abilities other than mana abilities. Partner 3/5. Cost 6. Another one that it's like very costly.
That's one of those that you stick. You can stick it as a commander. You stick it with another good color, and just make a little Tron deck. Voltron deck, and you just stick some swords or some enchantments on it. Since it has protection at least when you attack. Of course, it's not like the best. There's better cards that do basically the same thing that this card does. But I guess if you just want to dabble in other colors and have a possibility of mixing with colors it usually wouldn't mix well with this, it's kind of cool. But it's, I wouldn't play it with that, obviously. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't play it. Like, at least me personally, I wouldn't play it.
This card already has a printing, like the actual character. It was in a commander. He's from the weather, like as the name implies, he's from the Weatherlight. It's Tangarth first mate, and it's a 4 mana with Gruul. Sorry, he's Gruul. For 4 mana for a 5/5. So his stats are already better there. 4 mana, and he has a pretty unique ability. So, like in comparison, I feel like this is just a downgrade.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that one thing that does help out a lot of those 6-cost commanders, though, is the partner mechanic. Because I feel like in that case, if their ability is good enough, you have like your main commander, which is what you're actually trying to get down onto the battlefield, and then you have this basically like a free card that you can just have out there to cast whenever you kind of need it the most. That's what I feel about these 6 mana commander cards like that, especially this one, which has a really neat ability. But I don't know, like same thing that we were mentioning earlier, there's just a lot of other cards that do similar things or exactly the same thing that are just way better.
Yeah. True.
Our next card is Gerard, Hero, and Marjorie.
Martyr.
Legendary creature, human soldier, mono white, 5 CMC, vigilance, with an ability that is pay one white, sacrifice Gerard, exile each other creature you control, return them to the battlefield at the beginning of your next end step, prevent all damage that would be dealt to you this turn. It has a partner mechanic, and it's a 4/3.
I'm going to say this first. I'm glad it does not exist because JP would just abuse the hell out of it. So no, I'm glad it doesn't.
I would love this. I love this so much. And I actually feel like this could be a path. Like it's strong enough. It's reasonably costed. It's a commander, and I would love this as a card.
Yeah, no, it's really strong. Like it's so stupid strong because you don't even need to tap it.
You just pay, sack,
Yeah.
Then if you have
I
a way
wouldn't
to
use
bring
him
him
as a
back, just
commander.
bring him back.
I would use it as a commander, but I wouldn't use partner. I'd use mono white. Why not?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a- it's a-
definitely.
Okay, guys, just play that one fairy from Eldraine that doesn't let JP sacrifice anything, and you're good.
true, that's
It's
true.
over. We win.
I like that.
Or think about this. He's a human soldier. How about if your commander is Rick?
Rick, there you go. I knew he was gonna say it. Damn it!
Yeah.
I just want Rick to be erased from existence until we actually get a magic art print of that dude. Like,
To just tell you, the secret layers are already being everybody that ordered it, they're receiving them now. The packaging is amazing. I wish I had the photo with us. Our friend Carlos, he ordered 5.
What? You ordered 5?
Yeah, one of them are mine.
Okay.
But he ordered 5 because one is mine, one is his, and 3 of them. I think he's gonna keep one to keep it sealed, and the other 2 he's gonna resell them. They're right now selling for $75, sealed.
Awesome.
But thinking about that, the packaging is awesome because we are all used to the white box.
Mhm.
You know, this little box, guys, comes in a white box that says the name of the secret layer on the top,
Yeah.
and that's it. But this one, the box is around, says "Don't open."
Oh, that's clever.
that
I
inside.
like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
You know, it says "Don't
yeah,
open."
It's very flavorful, and I noticed that on the inside it has like the little terminus map from I think that was like the 3rd season of Walking Dead, was it?
Oh, that's
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think it was from the 3rd season.
That's cool.
Yeah, I really liked it because it's really flavorful, and I really do think that if Wizards, without the predatory practices, implementing the whole like really flavorful packaging for the secret layers, I just think it's a really cool thing to do. Like even though I criticize the product itself a lot, at least the aesthetic of it is something that I really enjoyed once I actually saw the product.
No, yeah, like I actually do like. One of the things that I love about Wizard of the Coast is that their packaging always are like unique.
Mhm.
You know, when you buy the notebooks, because I added to my little set, I have like a little corner that is full of like boxes because I don't throw them away. So the spell books,
Yeah.
besides the fact that they're all foil, they look nice. You know, they open up real nicely. You know, the whoops.
The little booster that came in.
The
and was
booster
gold.
is same style as the box, and the foiling on these cards are really nice. I really did like the foiling. Didn't like that much the whole thing of the lottery thing, but hey, that's how they sell products, so
Yeah.
you know how it is. So our next card, these are the final cards, guys, for all these 21 commanders that did not make the cut. So our next card is Adam.
Wait,
Chris is gonna say something.
I gotta address the one card that is literally not in formation here, and it's that Azorius Lawmaker. Can we
We're gonna
talk
get to
about that
that. We're gonna-
first?
It's the spicy one. We'll
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, do
No, of
anything.
course. It doesn't do anything. It just does everything.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't do anything.
I mean, it's
it
Azorius.
It makes JP's graveyard not work.
Yep. It makes people not tutor.
Exactly. So
We'll
we'll
get to
get there.
It makes people not be able to
Not
summon
Golos. It makes people not Golos.
Ah, that's great, right?
Oh wait, actually wait. Does Golos cast or does Golos put?
No, Golos puts.
It's
that. Those casts.
YOLO cast. That's true.
Oh,
okay.
right. It casts. It's true.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay. Golos is sick. You're good.
Yeah, let's go in.
You're good, buddy. You're good.
Okay, so Adam Capson of Benalia, my bad. We're back to Dominaria. Legendary creature, human soldier, mono white, CMC 3. I like the CMC. It's 1 white and 2 anything. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each aura and equipment attached to Adam. is a 2/2 with partner mechanic. This is one stupid broken card.
I need it to exist immediately because I already know who to pair it up with.
It's the partner is what makes it strong. That's
Yes.
it. Because Kemba, Sky Regent is like a 1 and a 1 white, and she just makes 2/2s for basically the same ability. So her tokens are just better.
That is true.
But
The Celestial one.
the
But
partner
again-
is what makes it strong.
Right. Yep, it's true. And Strom like generally would be better because you're drawing cards, you're cycling your stuff. But yeah, the partner mechanic makes it strong because if you pair with the right partner, it could be very busted. So quickly busted. Yeah. It's a very strong ability because it allows you to go tall and wide, and that's fun as well.
Oh, okay, I actually thought that that Rick it was like more creatures, but no, it's only humans. There's no like any other.
You thought that Rick gave +2/+2 to everything in Magic? Crazy person.
No, everything that it's like white. You know, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Sorry.
these white creatures. That's,
That isn't OP at all. That does nothing.
yeah, those boxes wouldn't be $75. Trust me.
No, it's not that broken. Come on.
It's bad enough.
Not.
Bad enough.
Okay, next card, Kyodai or Die. Kyodai. I think that's an I, if I'm not mistaken.
Kyodai?
I think it's an
Kyodai
I.
sounds about right for if she was from like,
Kyodai, Sister of
That
Spirit. It's a 7 CMC card, 2 black and 5. Legendary creature spirit, lifelink, death touch. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, put a divinity counter on another target creature you control. That creature becomes indestructible. Partner mechanic 4/4. This is ridiculously too expensive to be a commander.
I think that this is the one I disagree on. I feel like the others are just like
Don't tell me.
But
Don't tell me. You're gonna kill it and you're gonna return it for free.
I mean,
not
like-
just that, it's just mono black and mana are really good buddies, and if you make that a black green with Urbog,
I've gotten like at least 10 mana on turn 3. It's possible.
Yeah, because if you got Urborg and this other card on Cabal Coffers,
Yeah, no, that doesn't make enough mana. Like Lake of the Dead, it adds 4 mana by sacrificing the swamp. That alone can just give you 4 mana.
Yeah, the divinity counter is strong. It puts it on creatures only, right? Or on anything.
yeah, target creature you
Yeah,
control.
but there's so many other cards that put divinity counters too, so you can make like a nice little deck with divinity counters as a sub theme or something.
The thing is that you don't need her. I think
You don't need her.
you don't need her to make the creature indestructible. Well, you do to put the counter, but it doesn't say that you need her in the game, in the field. So it's like you put the counter and the creature's indestructible.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's stupidly broken. My God.
Divinity counters are very annoying. Yeah.
Yeah. So our next card is Marisi the Tracker, Gruul. Green, red, and 3, 5 CMC, legendary creature, cat warrior, trample. It has a couple of effects. Whenever Marisi attacks, choose 1. Defending player gets a prey counter and becomes prey. If defending player is prey, she gains +2/+2 until end of turn. If all of your opponents are prey, she gets +3/+3, gains double strike until end of turn, and she's a 5/3.
It's like when you play this commander, you're playing your own little game on your own. I swear, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna swing at this person. I'm gonna start setting up my prey counters. Everyone's like, "What the hell? You just shut up." I gotta make sure he's
That
at
is
prey
such a
first.
Chris card.
It is. It's something Chris would just genuinely
Yes,
try
I
to
know
do.
I feel like it's too many hoops, but
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's too many hoops. That's what I'm saying. You're literally
Not for
playing your
me.
little own game on your own. While everyone's playing like Commander with you, you're just on your own little pocket universe trying to make sure that everyone has a stupid break counter.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Chris would be the one that he would find that Omcat card that you exert and get another attack base.
Oh,
He's like,
God.
okay, So I will swing and exert my dude. I'll attack JP first. JP, you get a prey counter. Hey, John, next one, you get a counter. Hey,
And then we put the dude that drops the land, and I get another combat, and then you get a counter, and then everybody has counters, and then Mauricio's like, a what?
Yeah. I agree with JP. Too many hoops, but it's fun hoops. You know, like you gotta have to like build, gotta craft how you're gonna craft this crazy idea of a deck. And this one had a previous card, right? I think.
I feel like that's way better.
Oh, of course, yeah.
One of our made it, and it was probably the most annoying deck ever.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Definitely very, very strong.
Yeah, the other one's very strong, but this one is like, oh, it's fun. Like you have to build around it. You know, it's not super strong, but it's like if you start getting those prey counters, like it's gonna get nutty if you don't start stopping that stupid.
Actually, that could be a really fun Voltron deck too.
Sure. I mean, you don't even need the Voltron. Innately, it has like double strike trap. You're good. You're already plus C plus. You're good. You don't even need to put counters. Once you have
it, but the redundancy is so much fun.
Sure, I mean, I guess you can stick some...
I can do so much nothing, Orengo. You don't understand the amount of nothing that I can achieve with Mauricio the Tracker. It's ridiculous.
Chris would be like, he would build the deck, and then he'll be like, everybody has a prey counter. I still don't know how I can beat you all.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Gonna try to figure out how to win in one turn. Yeah.
The next card is Madoc, Lavamancer. He's a mono red legendary creature human wizard. CMC 4, 1 red and 3, anything. Instants and sorcery spells you cast can't be countered. Pay 1 red, tap, exile an instant and sorcery card from your graveyard. Madoc makes 3 damage to target creature or player, and its partner mechanic. 3/3. I love this card so much.
I need him in Vial Smasher for no reason.
This card shouldn't exist.
No, it shouldn't. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
How can it be stupid? You know?
Stupidest. I love it.
Oh God.
It's like
the spell
mono
slinging.
Just thinking about it. Mono red Chandra, and all of your instances and sorceries can't be countered. It's like, hey! Burn for days!
Plus, it's also a little young pyromancer. Young pyromancer, right? No, lava pyromancer.
Lava. Oh, dang it! I know which one you say.
Yeah. That one.
The one from Modern.
Yeah. Basically, it's that one as well. Like it bolts you on top of everything. So
yeah, but I think the other one only does 2 damage to you.
Of course, this one's obviously way better. But what I'm saying is, it's like it's that on a stick plus being able to make everything you cast uncounterable with a spell sling.
Come on, Orengo.
And its partner, just to add insult to injury.
Jet Sky, Orengo. Imagine that your counters cannot do anything to my stuff.
I generally would love these type of things, but like JP said, it should not exist. This is horrifying. Horrifying.
Okay, our next card. Our next card is Burly the Beast. Gruel, CMC 5, green, red 3. Whenever Burly the Beast or another beast enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature and opponent controls. Whenever a beast you control deals damage, put a 1/1 counter on it. 3/4 creature. This is not a bad card.
This is a really good card. I'm happy this exists. I'm not sure you guys know. So Pauper Commander is a thing, and at least one of the commanders I've seen a lot, even though he's probably not that popular anymore, is Krosan War Chief. So Pauper Commander uses uncommons as legendaries. You can use commons as legendaries as well, and there's also the normal legendaries that are commons. And uncommons. So Krosan War Chief reads, these spells you play cost 1 less, and he can regenerate target beasts. And Beast Tribal can be a very there's so many beasts just throughout Magic with different abilities. Like Burly the Beast, also the name, Burly the Beast. He's burly.
Yeah,
he's burly. I imagine him next to Barney singing a song. Next card. Burly and Barney, yes.
Barney's much more terrifying cousin.
Next card is Talara, Battalion Leader, Miss Celestia, CMC3, white, green, and 1. Legendary creature, Elf Warrior. Talara, Battalion Leader, gets 1/1 for each other creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Whenever another creature you control attacks, put a 1/1 counter on it. She's a 2/2 legendary creature.
It does standard Celestia things. And she does it pretty good. Just stick in a bunch of 1/1 counters and a bunch of tokens and just go.
You know what? I would actually like if Gavin would release at least this one would be in a standard set, not in a commander set.
It'd be scary if
It would be scary.
You have a go wide strategy. That would be kind of scary.
No, that's what I'm saying. But imagine this, because you remember that when Magic Origins came out, the elf deck, the Golgari elves, was the broken deck, because you would be like Shaman of the Pack, bam, you dead.
Yeah.
You know that literally that's what it would have happened. And Shaman of the Pack was not legendary. It was a CMC4 creature. No, it's 3.
It's 3. Yeah.
3?
You can
3
get
CM.
you can get it with Collected Company.
Exactly.
Oh,
So just imagine it. Like, hey, look.
I want to imagine it.
So just imagine it. A standard set with Collected Company and that card.
I mean, I
Even
like
in
it.
Commander, she's kind of ridiculous. Like, you just make an elf. You could actually make elf tribal. And well, are there any white elves? I don't think there are enough white elves.
Yeah, but still.
There's like 2.
Yeah, but still, you can do
Yeah.
the tribal with green and just have white as your board wipes,
Mhm.
like sorceries that you can use for board wipes or
Are there
to
a lot of white
cast.
cards that support tribal though?
There are a few.
There are a few.
And there's also like some generic cards that are like, oh, all of your creatures get +1/+1 or something like that.
Yeah,
which
there's
with
a
like
lot of
you can
bad ones.
stack up, and it's
No,
really
that's-
ridiculous.
That's
course,
that's
yeah.
why, because you can focus on green as your elves tribal, and you can have a couple of cards to like make infinite mana, and then you can be like, okay, so I have infinite green mana, have a bunch of white lands on the game, so I can cast more things. You can cast the enchantment that gives all your creatures double strike lifelink. Go crazy. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do. You know, you can focus the white portion of the card to be the enchantments to buff your creatures, because I know that there's white enchantments that are for warriors. So, and most of the elves are warriors, so you can like go ahead and do like, okay, well, infinite mana, I have her. Then she gets a counter for each other creature with a counter. So just imagine that in early game you have a bunch of creatures, then you draw the Magnificent Azuri and start buffing it.
Why Azuri in every chance you get, you just stick Azuri.
Because Azuri isn't a magical green card.
I like it. It's Celestia doing Celestia things. It's really
Yeah. But again, I would consider this to be a standard card.
I can see it. I mean, I can see some of them being standard cards for real. Because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
so heavily costed that no one would dare play them in standard. But they're obviously geared towards commander players.
So our next card is a funny card. For the art, I would
Funny,
actually
I think it's amazing. I love it.
Cute,
So-
cute.
is Pivlik Reviving Imp, black and 1, 2 CMC, legendary creature Imp, flying. Whenever Pivik leaves the battlefield, return another target creature from your graveyard to your hand. If that creature was your commander, my bad, return it to the battlefield instead. Partner mechanic, 1/1.
Yeah, no, that's really strong. So strong. It's funny, but it's also stupid strong.
It's also not not broken though.
No, it's just strong. It's just really
It's
strong.
It's just strong. It's strong
I feel
because
like it's a good place to be.
Mhm. You know, you can like, this card is really good. Like, you can whenever, if you have like a high cost commander and you need to return it, you can just like put it in the graveyard and be like, okay, so I'm gonna cast him, do JP
Sack
things,
him.
sacrifice it for 2 mana, return my commander to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, JP things. That's a thing now. Hashtag JP things.
JP things.
Our next card, Blunk Skullcracker. He's Gruul, CMC3, red, green, and 1. Legendary creature, human warrior. Players can't gain life and damage can't be prevented. Whenever Blunk Skullcracker attacks the first time in a turn, that's stupidly stupid. If it's attacking alone, untap it after this combat phase. There's an additional combat phase.
It's Skullcrack on a body.
It's called Cracker Buddy. Yep, literally.
It's an efficient beater. That's it. I probably wouldn't run this as a commander,
Meaning
but efficient and good.
But what if you make it a Voltron?
Oh god. It'd be a nice challenge for sure. But the thing about like players can't get life and damage can't be prevented is so stupidly strong.
No, but imagine adding blue.
God.
You know,
Thankfully you can't, but
Yeah,
no.
So we have to
Not having him as a commander, having him in your 99,
Oh yeah.
and then you have all these bunch of like blue extra turn cards, and you start stacking it because the card says in a turn. So on your next turn, you can do the same thing again.
No, and you have red too, so there's cards that give you extra combat steps on top of the extra combat steps you're already getting.
Exactly. Wait,
Okay.
what is it? Dang it! What was this card? It's in Commander Legends, the one that you can end your turn when you tap it.
Oh yeah,
Omega.
yeah, then there's
Yeah,
I
you
think
can-
there's a red card that gives you either another combat step or another turn.
There's a lot of
Red.
red cards that says you get an extra turn, but if you don't finish the game, you get the
die.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
get finished. So
yeah. But then you use that card to like because you put it in the stack. I know that Josh Lee Kwai in the Game Nights episode, he did it so many times. I was like, what? But it makes so much sense. So you play the card, you put it in the stack in your end phase, you tap the card, poof, the turn ended.
Yeah.
So it's crazy shenanigans in Commander, but hey, if Josh can, we can. Our next card is Lin Civi Recruiter. She's a mono white creature, CMC 4, 1 planes and 3. Legendary creature, human rebel. That says she has an ability that is a white and anything tap. Search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of 1/1 counters among creatures you control and put it onto the battlefield. Then shuffle your library. Partner mechanic 2/3.
I feel like
sure
she's,
that. Yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like she's just a worse version of her previous iteration.
Mhm.
Her previous iteration is Lin CV, I think Rebel Hero or something. Is 1 white, so she's 3 mana for a 2/3 or 2/2. And you pay X mana and tap her, and you get to search for any rebel that's worth that X mana cost. So
Okay.
any rebel. And there was I'm pretty sure it was like a competitive EDH deck that ran her because a lot of rebels have a lot of stacks and disruptive effects. And you're searching, even though you're limited to rebels, you're searching like a lot of disruptive things. I've seen her like as an argument as like mono white isn't that good as a solo color in Commander, because of card advantage and ramp and that type of stuff. And her previous iteration is actually pretty decent at keeping up with like super valued out I don't know, like Yarok decks.
Okay.
I like it that it's like it searches for stuff in white. Like it's pretty decent. Like I know I understand it's not broken. It's just decent. Like it's cool that it kind of gets you tutor and stuff.
But it has the partner mechanic, so you can partner it with any other color to
You got
to
two
see if you
golden cats in
can.
Boost it a little
Exactly.
bit, yeah. So you can boost it a little bit. Yeah, I like that it tutors. It's cool.
But JP, just remember, mono white in Commander will be amazing again because we got Rick. There's nothing else we can do. Rick exists.
Yeah.
You can also not get him. That'd be a nice idea.
You can just not get them.
Yeah.
True. But you know,
like
people are gonna start playing him just for
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know. Our next card is Takara Endal. He seems Latino. He's Endal. So he's a Rakdos creature, CMC 5, red swamp and 3. Legendary creature, human warrior. He costs he has an ability that is red and 1, sacrifice another creature. Takara deals 2 damage to target creature or player whenever another creature you control dies. Lose 1 life and draw a card. 3/4. He has nothing else. I don't know.
You don't know? I feel like that second sentence seems kind of insane. No. The first one was fine because like, okay, another creature, you ping a little bit of damage. Oh no, everything that died, I get to draw. Why? No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Stop it.
You
There's too
don't
many
need
Rakdos
The problem with that is I feel like it's very reminiscent towards Lizolda, the Blood Witch.
Yeah.
She's 1 black and a red for a legendary. I think she's a wizard. She's a 3/1, and you can pay 2 colorless to sacrifice a creature. If that creature was red, you deal 2 damage to any target, and if that creature was black, you draw a card. So if the creature is both, you just do both.
Yeah.
Is very similar in that design aspect, and I personally had a Lizolda deck. I really enjoyed it because it was a very aggro deck. But aggro doesn't really work much in Commander, but since her ability let me refuel, I just kept pumping out threats after threats after threats, and it really worked. This could be very similar style, but like since his abilities just stamped on the creature, it's just so easy to just go for combos. You can just go for combos and just, oh look, I can draw 39 cards because you could kill yourself if you're not careful. But there's ways to offset that, like whenever creature dies you gain 1 life, and there's like an enchantment called Vampiric Rites, and I'm pretty sure you have to pay for that one. But there's like a Death Reader. Death Reader, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a 1/1 for black, and he says like when anything dies, you just gain 1 life. You play that and start pulling infinite to draw your deck.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of things that you can do. You can actually put it as your 99 and play Corvault, the dragon, and go crazy with that as well, because you can attack, sacrifice, heat triggers, and do a lot of shenanigans as well. You know, there's a lot of things that you can build. There's a bunch of these cards that are great to like have in the 99 and not as a commander. But hey, depends on the person.
Something I realized as well is there's like in this whole list, there's 3 or 4 Gruul commanders, and there's like 3 Rakdos commanders, which is interesting. They decided to cut those.
Yeah, that is true. And then our last card that we all know that this is a stupid card. God dang it. So Nihan, a Saurius lawmaker, because he is the law. I would put Judge Dredd as an art instead. He's a Saurius. He costs a Saurius. The 2 CMC legendary creature, human advisor. Cards in graveyard loses all abilities. If a player would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of their library. If a non-creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it
Ridiculous.
instead. 2/2.
I think he should have been renamed Nope, the Nope Maker. I think that's a much more fitting name for
You know
this
what?
card.
No, you know what? Forget about putting a picture of Judge Dredd. I would put a picture of Orengo.
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
just Nope, the Nope Maker. Yep, there
Yep.
you go. I mean, are you sure that isn't Orengo a few years from now? I mean, hold on. Somebody look at Orengo's hairline real quick. Hold up.
I can see
Just look at his dad.
Yeah, look at my dad. Yeah.
He's there reading a script that he's doing for a movie or something. He's like,
Yeah, the
they're like,
script just says Nope,
Nope.
nope,
The no.
Nope.
I have nothing to say.
We have to
about
finish with Nope.
I
nope.
don't
A
say anything.
counter spell story.
It's just a vomit of a lot of annoying things so people hate you every time you summon a stupid commander.
Yeah.
It's varied stuff. You stop like recursion deck to deal with graveyards. You stop people from trying to combo. You stop people from trying to smack you in the face with a sneak attack. Like you stop everyone, so they hate you even more because you're trying to stop all these different types of archetypes and decks.
Actually, just sounds like a me when I was playing that Rubinia deck.
It's a very hate berry type of card. It's not in the hate bear colors, which is kind of interesting. If that would have been Celestia, that would have been kind of crazy too. But I appreciate that it's more Azorius, because then you can just be like, on top of the note that is your commander, you can just be note with all your cards in your hand. So.
No, yeah, it's, oh my god, this card is so ridiculous.
Too many stupid keywords. Thank God Gavin didn't print this. Not saying that he's not crazy enough to just print it down the line, honestly.
Oh yeah, he will. You know he will.
It's an advisor. You know what? Maybe they printed in that Harry Potter set.
Yo, he's an advisor.
Yeah.
How about your 99 or that one and blue advisors that for each one you can tap?
Oh, that'd be cool.
And,
yeah.
Oh my god, somebody wrote in the chat. AJ says more cards that should not exist.
I wonder who could have wrote that. I have no idea.
I'm a new player, and I agree. This would be hell to deal with.
Oh, it would be hell. Yes, it would. Like,
my problem with this card is that cards and graveyards don't have the abilities, and if you animate it, it just comes back and, oh look, you didn't cast this.
Oh, exactly. I know, it's stupid.
Yeah, the sad part is that if you're a combo player, like let's say, if you're one of your win conditions is like one of mine that is looking for the gates, this will be making me look for the gates harder.
Oh yeah.
So even returning the actual maze card, it will be like, okay, I search for a gate, I can only look at the top 4 cards.
Yeah.
You know, it stops a lot of things, and especially if you are somebody that does need pieces to win a game, your search is going to be limited.
If you try to fetch lands, you might miss.
Yes.
A way you could make this card a bit more fair, like if this were aimed towards commander, is making you look the top 7. It's very reminiscent of Dig Through Time and the other versions of Dig Through Time that actually cost 1 mana. You look at the top 7. Oh look, I found the actual card. So you might actually whiff. You never get to like a proper search card. You don't get to search for a proper like the actual card, and like it balances it out a bit.
Yeah. I like that.
But 7 cards, I feel like 7 cards is like you get to look through a whole hand of cards either way.
Yeah, that's
yeah, it's to make it fair, not to make it more ridiculous.
It's still if you're like yes, let's say you
whiff very hard. So.
Like, you tutor for
I am right now thinking that Chris is just thinking in his head, hey, how about this card? They make it legit, and I build a janky Azorius deck.
All he wants to do. That's why he's
I'll just bring back Rubinia. That's all I'm gonna do with it. I'm just gonna bring back Rubinia and be ridiculous and stupid again. Bring back, what's her name? Hushbringer? Is that the little fun little fairy that also
that card does not exist. I refuse.
And there's also like Linvala in there too. Yeah, let's bring them all in. Let's bring them all. I want to bring them all back.
How can you're being mean to JP, man? He wants to play Commander.
Oh, I assure you. You guys remember that Rubinia deck. I would be mean to everyone.
Yeah, but not like Orengo when he plays turn 2 Winter Orb.
No, I mean yeah.
it would be worse because actually no, it would be better because I also had plans of getting Winter Orb for that deck. So there's 2 Winter Orbs. That way Orengo's Winter Orb can't do the thing. See? It's good. It's balancing the game.
But at least Orengo has a win condition, though.
That is true.
Yeah, exactly. I just want you guys to win. I don't need to win. I just need to make my presence known.
It's like, I think if anybody that's watching us right now would be like, what are they talking about? So let's just say this, guys. If by the time that when we get to go back to our local game stores, if we're gonna make a live an episode that will be live, and we'll play Commander for you guys, and then you'll see Chris doing Chris things, and you're gonna be like, his whole playmat and his whole corner full of things. You'll be like, all my creatures have like triple strike, indestructible, protection from everything, but I still can't win.
I'm trying to figure out how to beat you guys. It's so confusing.
Oh God, how can really? Yeah, that's Chris. Chris things. Yeah, we have a thing for everybody.
All right, I have 96 cards on the board. I think my win con should be somewhere in the last 3 cards. Hold on, guys. Let me try to figure out some card draw here. Hold on. Let me just. There we go. I draw the last 2. We're good.
Oh no, it was the last card. Darn it.
It's the last card, and then you go ahead and tap the card. It's the end of your turn, so you can't do anything else.
The worst part is that might sound like a joke, but it's actually that has happened more than once.
Yes. It has. Oh my God. Well, guys, those are all the topics of tonight. Remember that every week we put the topics that we're going to talk about every Saturday, and we're actually, all of us are thinking about new content for you guys. So to let you guys know, pay attention to our YouTube page, Cardboard Cave MTG, because on our YouTube page, we're going to start posting the Commander Nights live streams to the YouTube page, and we're actually planning some Commander things for the future. We want to do some content for all of you. I think that our ideas are very unique and very interesting, so we hope that we can make those happen. And just for future, we are actually going to, the next set is coming in January, at the ends of January, so we're going to see if we can get some boxes to open up with you guys, and to see if we can do a virtual sealed event between all of us. Actually, we can get a pre-release each, and we can play pre-release here on the stream.
I'm totally down.
So let's go ahead and tell our co-hosts where they can find them, starting with Mr. Chris.
Oh, it starts with me this time. Well, I haven't been able to put out any content recently, but you can find me here on Twitch under ChrisCross13. I am planning on putting on some content soon. I just recently finished with all my college stuff, so yeah, we are still getting a few things set, but once I do, I promise that I will start putting out content for you guys. Lots of Magic the Gathering related content as well. I just got to get a few things set up, and once I have a schedule, I will let you guys know. Other than that, I guess you can just attempt to find me on social media, but I'm just going to make that a little quest for you guys to figure out.
Yeah, like again, our YouTube channel will have a lot of MTG content. The thing is that we're still figuring things out. The podcast is like the main thing right now, but we're gonna get you guys awesome content. So, JP, where they can find you?
You can find me here every Saturday on Cardboard Cave, MTG podcast, and you can satisfy all your cardboard craze.
Damn, JP
like
with
that.
the fuck, man. He keeps on upgrading them every Saturday.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, Alejandro, where they can find you?
You can find me in this podcast, Cardboard Cave. You can also find me in the podcast from The Movie Guy with John. And if not, you can just Google me or IMDb me, because I'm a baker.
True. You can go ahead and Google Alejandro in IMDb. Find his stuff. His stuff is really cool and amazing. And guys, you guys can find me as well at all my social media as Big Boss 117PR. As well, like Orengo mentioned, I am part of the Movie Guy group of co-hosts in the podcast as well. We do podcasts every Tuesday and Thursday. And it hasn't started yet, but we have our Fantastic Four fan cast for 5 different pages against each other to see which fan cast is best suited for you guys. So you can pass by all of our pages. The pages are listed in all of our social media, but the contest has not started yet. So everything will be posted in the Movie Guys Facebook page. But hey, find us here at Cardboard Cave in all of our social media. This episode will be available for all of you tomorrow in the podcast format. So follow us in your favorite podcast platform, and don't miss out on our show every Saturday at 9:30. So nothing, guys. Thank you for all of you for joining me. We'll see you next Saturday. How about we show them who is one of our main local game stores? Hey geeks, do you love comics, collectibles, and TCG? Well, here at Cardboard Cave, we have the place for you. Pass by Kapitan Granuja Comics and Games and find all your favorite geeky items there. Look for them at Facebook or Instagram, or call them at 787-659-7003. A store blessed by Nicole Bolas.